There's no risk in having 14-year-olds get off work by 7 p.m. on a school night. There's obviously risk in blatantly violating federal law and then going out and saying, I didn't know, I'm just stupid.
Another story, not out of the South, but, you know, relevant as Hyundai has been taken to court again for the Department of Labor is now, I think the story is the Department of Labor is suing Hyundai as a joint employer, right? So Hyundai, it's been known for years now from a Reuters investigation that they have had wholly owned subsidiaries, right? And so it makes it difficult because Hyundai's been out there saying like, oh no, it's not us that's doing this. It's our subcontractors, and you know, we had no idea, even though the Smart LLC in particular is the one that's been kind of at the center of all this. They were a wholly owned subsidiary, completely owned by Hyundai. And Hyundai's still trying to kind of divest responsibility from this, even though they're the sole owners. It's just kind of absurd. And the Department of Labor is calling out this absurdity. The Department of Labor is saying, you know, that's absurd. You were the employer and you were responsible and you had responsibility. And so we are naming you in this lawsuit as well as Smart. So that's what they are doing with Hyundai. And so this child labor story is relevant. But in Iowa, there's been a movement across the country to roll back child labor regulations to try to make child labor regulations more lax, to make it more easy for employers to take profits from the bodies of children and things like this. And Iowa has been at the leading edge of this, much like Arizona has been at the leading edge of the school privatization movement. Iowa has been at the leading edge of the movement to roll back child labor laws, to such an extent, actually, that they have passed a law that contradicts federal labor law. KCCI in Des Moines points out that currently the state law says, and this is newly amended state law, says that 14-year-olds can work as late as 9 p.m. on a school night. On a school night, 14 years old, getting off work at 9 p.m. Iowa lawmakers says, that's great. That sounds awesome. And there's not going to be any negative ramifications from that. 14-year-olds should be able to work as late as 9 p.m. on a school night and 11 p.m. in the summer. I mean, this is just really, really grotesque and absurd kind of exploitative stuff. And that contradicts federal labor law. Federal labor law says that teenagers must be off the clock by 7 p.m. on school nights, which that's reasonable, and 9 p.m. in the summer. Again, those sound reasonable to me, right? Extending this for 2 hours, there's no reason for it, but Iowa did it.
Hey, 5 seconds, just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
And so now Iowa businesses are in this situation where state law contradicts federal law. And so obviously the thing that you do there is follow federal law because federal law supersedes state law. But some Iowa businesses are complaining to the news saying, we don't know what to do. We're being fined by the Labor Department, but I thought that it was okay because the state said it was okay. And I'm not joking. That's literally what's going on. That's literally what's going on. KCCI says one Iowa restaurant owner is facing fines of over $100,000, and they are saying that, oh, look, we thought we were following the law because we were following the state law, and so we thought we didn't have to follow federal law anymore. And it's just absurd kind of stuff that they are, and you know, really the thing here is, I think, the thing that they want to do is they want to force this lawsuit from the federal government, from the U.S. Department of Labor. They want to get it in federal court, and they want to appeal it to the Supreme Court and have the Supreme Court overturn the Fair Labor Standards Act. Ultimately, that's what these freaks want to do, right? They want to get rid of not just child labor. They would like to get rid of the minimum wage federally, totally. They would love to be able to do that. They would love to be able to get rid of requirements for overtime. That's another aspect of the Fair Labor Standards Act, that legally you have to pay employees time and 1/2 their rate of pay for hours worked over 40 in one work week. These are, and so I think that's what's going on. I think they want to totally roll back the child labor portion of the Fair Labor Standards Act, and also everything in the Fair Labor Standards Act. So I think this is very concerning, and it's silly in that, obviously, and these employers know that. These employers know that when federal law contradicts state law as it relates to employment, what you should be doing is following federal law. Because you're not going to go wrong by, the state is not going to come, the state of Iowa is not going to come and fine you because you don't have children working past 7 p.m., right? There's no risk in that. There's no risk in just having 14-year-olds get off work by 7 p.m. on a school night. There's no risk in that. There's obviously risk in blatantly violating federal law and then going out and saying, "Oh no, it's just I didn't know. I'm just stupid." And this also contradicts, the idea that business owners are, they should be the ones running society because they're so much smarter than everybody else, right? That's who we should trust to run everything. And so, if actually it is the case that these business owners were so stupid as to think that, oh, the state has changed the law, now I can just operate in blatant violation of federal law, then that's actually very concerning about the extent to which we should be trusting these people to be running our societies, right? That actually kind of says something about maybe we shouldn't be trusting business owners to run societies. Maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Maybe we should be putting workers in charge. But
I know. I mean, it's so silly because it's like, if you live in a state that legalizes marijuana, not to get on a plane with it. People understand
exactly.
that federal law is the law of the land.
Exactly. I didn't even think about that. But these same people would point and laugh at a pothead who got on a plane and had the TSA take away their pot and say, obviously, you're so stupid. Just because Oregon changed their law doesn't mean it's legal federally. Look at this pothead. He's so dumb. But that's exactly what's going on with the child labor stuff. That's a good point, Wendy. Yeah, very frustrating. Very frustrating what's going on. But yeah, like Reese says in the chat, not surprising at all.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.